guys, Wahoo here, back on another video. This time around we are going to do a little bit of feedback, but mostly review, and actually also going to talk a little bit about the new event that is coming up just actually on Tuesday. So coming out a video on Tuesday as well as this Sunday here as well. So keep an eye out for the channel here, and you can get a guide to the new event that is coming on Tuesday. It's not going to be something that is going to have anything to do with, you know, the Sunfest we just had, but I just wanted to mention it, that we are going to get that. And I already posted it on the Discord, so yeah, that's linked in the description if you want to go check that stuff out already. But yeah, that's going to go down on Tuesday. But this video is about the feedback, and it's also about the review of Sunfest 2025. And you might be wondering, why am I doing a feedback or a review of Sunfest 2025? And that is quite simple, actually, in all its glory. It is actually so simple that it was an amazing event. Actually, like the best event we have ever had in Trove, after my opinion. And that's not just because it's the most recent one. We've previously had really great events, but they have never expanded over a month. First of all, they've never expanded over a month, as I'm pretty sure it hasn't. There might have been some build-up and stuff, so I'm not totally remembering correctly now that I'm kind of, you know, moldering in my mind, but I'm pretty sure we've always stuck to those 14 days, even over also previous Sunfest. But there might have been some leading up and some aftermath and stuff like that that might have included like a whole month, but we've definitely not had it for like a whole month as we had here. We've definitely not have had, that's a very word to say, keep saying have had, but we have never had quest lines that has expanded over 3 weeks, for example. I wish there was also a 4th week, but I kind of get it, and I'll kind of talk about that as well, but sort of not really review or feedback, and I don't think really I'll explain when we get to that one, as like kind of taking it week by week, I guess you can kind of say. But it was an amazing event. It kept for a whole month, and I feel like this is what we were wanting for such a long time. There's a few things that I think we should bring back next year, because we're also going to talk a little bit about next year. Not that I know anything of next year, but of course it's not going to be the 10-year anniversary next year. It's going to be the 11th year, so I'm not expecting the same kind of thing going on next year. And I'm definitely not expecting anything during, you know, like you know, the Shadow Ganda or Yapaki or whatever the name is. I'm not expecting that to come back. I don't think it's going to come back in 20 years, or rather 20 years, but another 10 years, but we'll see. I do have some ideas to that, and I feel like it should be coming back in like a long time and such, but we will actually also hopefully get a video on all the stats. I texted the Discord, I was about to say, the devs, about it would be very fun to make a video about like stats and like how many pinatas was thrown, how many quests was done, how much time did people play, or like any sort of fun stats that could be indicated in the Sunfest event. How many shadows was defeated and such. I don't know if they can have that sort of stats, but I know they can have, you know, the pinatas thrown, and maybe it would be a very short video of just talking about that, but it'd be kind of funny to know how many was actually thrown, because I think that's super important for like the community to know, just that how much of a success it actually was. And I feel like it was definitely a success, but let's just start at the beginning and kind of work our way through the event and kind of a view on what basically was going on. So of course we started with the pre-event, if you can call it like that. It was of course the Yapaki giveaway. They were like kind of leading up on the social medias, and it kind of went into July already, so it was kind of the start thing, but it was given away like on the 7th of July. And then of course also we got the community letter, which is super awesome. I'm hoping we're gonna get another one. I'm pretty sure we are gonna get another one. Maybe the stat thing I was talking about is gonna be including that one. I'm not sure, but we'll see what the community letter is going to be for, of course, August as well. We don't know how exactly that is, when that's coming. I'm pretty sure it might not come out on Tuesday or whatever, Monday, but we'll see. I'll make, of course, a video when that happens. But it was the Yapaki giveaway. I feel like it was a little bit sudden that we got it all, like the information I got to you guys, and I got, and you got, and everybody got. So I think they were just kind of cooking the event up until then, and they wanted to make this, you know, kind of hype before it. And I really feel like next time that it should be like a lot more time before that. But I know if they're cooking up the event and don't really know what they're going to do and how big it was going to be and all that stuff. But I feel like that is something they should be aware of like a lot of time before, so we can kind of lead up to that. I love that there's sort of a pre-event going on like on social medias and kind of keep getting people hyped for the event and such. So I'm not expecting a month time next year for the event, but I do hope it's going to be definitely be bigger than any of the other events we have during the year, for sure as that. And then of course there was Sunfest from July 1st to 31st. Of course that was super amazing. That was the whole idea with it. And also of course we got the new the new servers as well. That was really amazing as well. Then we got of course some boost during that. I wish there was more boost, like a whole month of boost basically, or something, like not like everything at the same time, every unlock basically. But I do have some feedback, or I guess a little bit of whatever you can call it, ideas, whatever you would call it. And that's of course with a global, I say global, but I mean like a whole community kind of event, in the sense of something we've done before where we actually unlocked, stuff by doing stuff, if you know what I mean. It's a sense that if we've done, like, let's say, I say 1 billion dungeons, I don't know if that's too many, but like 10 million dungeons, for example, like on all platforms, we would unlock like a bonus where we got like extra experience or anything like that. Something that community also could come together around. I feel like we had a bunch of that stuff, but I do feel like just giving some boosts where it kind of slipped under the radar, in the sense that, hey, it's actually going on. And I really feel like there should be more indications on like everything is like, this is the time for you to either like do a bunch of dungeons or do a bunch of delves or whatever you are doing. This is the time to do it because everything is boosted. But I feel like leading up to that boost, it should be like some sort of community thing. You come together about, how many, dungeons or how much experience or like anything like indicating of the leaderboards or whatever, like anything at all would be super, super, super amazing for, a community, the whole community, like all the platforms to come together and do like 10 million dungeons or whatever, as they've done before. Actually, they have done this previous and it was actually super fun. And I really wish that this would be something we can get maybe next year, even though the event is not going to be the same, but it could be if we, during the event, for example, the 14 days did 10 million dungeons or 100 million dungeons on all platforms, we would have these extra bonuses unlocked when we then, and it doesn't have to be bonuses, a boost to experience or anything like that. It could also be every platform unlocks, if you do like again 10 million dungeons on all platforms, we unlock like a dragon or a mount or a pair of wings or something like that. That the computer, I was about to say, the community can come together around and actually, work towards together and kind of build up that hype. And you can kind of have a progress bar in game or something like that. We can see, hey, we're actually, getting close to just a few more dungeons, guys. And then everybody has like this bonus experience unlock and everybody gets a mount and everybody, because that was something that was super, super awesome, is that we also got new Twitch drops, and these Twitch drops was super, super awesome because they didn't give mastery. So if you missed out on them, well, no really big deal per se, because they didn't give mastery. It's gonna be exclusive skins, and I hope they don't come back because that makes it kind of exclusive, those skins, if it makes sense. Maybe they'll be back next year. They could be back there. And again, they wouldn't give any mastery, and they don't give any amazing stats or anything like that. It's both mostly just for the skin. So if you really think those are super, super awesome, then yeah, then you maybe wait until next year and then get them. And maybe we don't get the Yapaki drops and all that stuff, but we get something different, which I'm also going to talk about. Kind of giving some feedback on what we can do. Mostly was the kind of community goal to unlock some super awesome stuff, but the Twitch drop was amazing and awesome that we got something new and not just the normal ones that we got. I do think they should, like in the future, not too long from now, should bring the old drops back, because there is some stuff in there for newer players that might not have gotten them, but it's just fun to have some drops, and it's free, so doesn't really matter too much. Leading up to talking about Twitch drop, the dev stream as well. The dev stream on The July 16 was absolutely amazing. It was good to see some of the old faces. It was good to see, of course, Ginger Vamp and Blizza. And also we saw our producer, which I've never seen before. And also the woman that's still a mystery. I still know who she was running the stream, or the dev stream. But yeah, of course, if you don't know, if you didn't see my kind of recap of the dev stream, of course, Ginger Vamp and also Blizza, they made the reworks to some of the characters that have been before. Now they're working on a different game that Gamigo is also I'm pretty sure it's the pirate one or whatever. I'm not sure. But the point is that D were back, and it was awesome. It was awesome that they came in. They had, you know, a bunch of fun. They kind of reminisce about some stuff, and I really hope that we are going to see them again in the future. I hope they're going to do some like guest appearances on doing some reworks maybe. You know, it is the same company, so they could, you know, move stuff a little bit around. But yeah, that's just sort of how it all went down. But the most important thing is that, of course, if you didn't see again the recap, I will mention it once again. You are going to get block in the game. I'm not sure how it's going to work. They said they were going to do something for melee classes. I have said in the past that I do think that this should change in the sense of we have our big talent tree. I've talked about this before, but we do have our big talent tree, and that one has, you know, specific melee notes, and that's what they're talking about. Again, somebody said a really amazing question is, okay, so they're helping like melee classes, but what like is a melee class in Trove? Because yes, you know, we do have to, they're kind of talking about physical damage characters like the Near Ninja and stuff like that, but those sure is kind of squishy and stuff. But what about classes which are also melee but is magic damage, right? So I'm really not sure how they're going to implement all this. Block is coming to every class, so I'm pretty sure it's just going to be like sort of an ability like we're dodging. You know, you hold down, you hold a button and then you block an attack when they attack or whatever. But I really feel like they should implement, if they're talking about like melee classes specifically, because of course all melee classes, all classes that use physical damage, mostly, actually, you know, that's not true because of Shadowhunter, but the most of them is going to be, you know, up and close, and it might actually be super awesome for them to have some damage reduction. And if some ranged characters get some damage reduction as well, it doesn't really like the end of the, you know, everything basically, right? So I'm not sure. We have to see when the update comes out, but whatever block is not really the biggest deal. The biggest deal, after my opinion, is that I really am gonna enjoy this so very much. We are going to get new tier of gems. Hopefully I will enjoy it. I haven't seen it yet. Maybe it'll be absolutely horrible. I don't know. But they said it's gonna be the same style as we upgraded our stellar gems to crystal. So maybe it's gonna be some in-game stuff. So you should, you know, start collecting, you know, your stuff. I'm pretty sure we're still going to use, you know, dust. So I'm not sure that's going to go away ever, because that would just be weird because we have so much of it and it doesn't make sense for the, you know, new players. Of course it makes sense, but for older players it wouldn't make sense if they took that all stuff out. And it could just be an extra regen for or ingredient to upgrade your stuff, of course. So I think that's coming, of course, back. We'll see what then that update hits. My guess is that we are going to see the update during like start of September. It could come here in August, but I'm pretty sure we're going to see some PTS stuff first in like end August or like start September. That's where I think we are going to see it, because again, the event is coming out here on Tuesday, and then, you know, they're maybe going to work a little bit on that the first week, and then maybe the second week. We'll see what happens. We haven't heard anything as content creators yet, so as soon as I know something, you know something, of course. But it was amazing. So the new tier of gems is coming, so that's going to help a lot of people, hopefully getting that threshold from going into from tier 14 dungeon, or 14 dungeons, yeah, but tier 14 worlds into tier 15 worlds, of course. So I'm looking very much forward to that. I really hope, because I'm kind of stuck right now. I can get carried, but I don't like getting carried that much. Like, it's fine sometimes, you know, a few here and there, but I kind of like to just, you know, be my own man, if that makes any sense. And I don't want to be like a burden to anybody. I just want to give to you guys and never take anything from you. But the lastly I do want to talk about is a little bit more of a feedback thing, is that maybe next year is that we can have this community goal, but we can also have like a new mount that kind of indicate that you played on like that Sunfest, right? So a special skin for like a special Ganda or something like that. Not a Ganda that would actually fly, but we have a few birds. We actually have 3 birds that do have some kind of specialty to them a little bit, but we could have like special 2026 mount. It doesn't have to be like a Ganda thing. It can be something different. I really wanted to say 2026 on the mount somewhere, if that makes any sense, or like maybe a Mac Rider or something like that. Or I wouldn't say a dragon. I don't think we should get a dragon next year as well that says 2026. I think we should just have some sort of mount that like exclusively kind of showed people that you played during Sunfest 2026. It could be a community goal, or it could be something through the Twitch drops. It could also be something through a quest line or whatever. But I really hope next year is going to be significantly bigger than other events we've had, but I'm not saying it should be anywhere close to what we got this year. But they can think in a bunch of stuff. I think they had a lot of great ideas for this event. I think there's a lot of positive. That doesn't have to be as big, but should definitely be something that I've always said, that Sunfest or the anniversary of Trove should always be the absolute best time to play the game. And it should be, of course, great all the time, but that time, that July month, it doesn't have to be a whole month, but at least like those 14 days, if they're gonna, tone it down to being 14 days next year, which is fine. I just feel like this time should really be the time to say, hey, if you really, really, really want to play Trove, this is the absolute best time to play Trove. And I think that is something that absolutely have to shine, and people have to have that narrative in their heads that, all right, I might have not played Trove for a year, but now the anniversary is coming back. I'm definitely going to play now because it's going to be absolutely insane and super, super awesome. And lastly, I do want to say thank you to the devs for making such great, amazing communications with us through the, us content creators, and that it's just been an absolutely delight. I hope you guys have seen that as well. I hope you guys have experienced that as well. But if you haven't, I'm sorry if I haven't been more transparent, but I've given you everything that I have known, and I really hope that this is going to continue. It looks like it is already. So thank you guys so much for that. Not only my community, but also the dev community of Trove and everybody else that is involved with and sees this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know I went on a little bit of a rant sometimes, but TLDR, and I basically also said it was an amazing event, and I can't wait to see what we are going to do in the future. Also, bunch of ideas out there. There's a speed running event going on right now. If you haven't seen the post, there's speed running at the moment. There's one Taki is making like a speed run event right now where it's just super awesome and super competitive, and I hope it's gonna like explode, because this is something I know people really enjoy, speed running and competitiveness and stuff like that. And I feel like Trove is missing that, definitely, for sure. So anyways, thank you guys so much for this month. We are not done yet. We got plenty of stuff coming, so we're not done. We're just gonna lay back a little bit now. We've just been grinding, and now we're just gonna chill, and we're gonna have an awesome time. And we're, like I said, not done yet. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!